I am going to create another question. Okay, again, I did not select the type of question here, but because I had the text check all that apply, Google Forms is assuming that I'm creating a checkbox, which I am. And because I had the word days of the week, again, it's giving me suggestions. So there, I just saved a lot of time because Google was able to pick up on what I was trying to do. Okay, I'm going to add another question. And I'll make that, I'll leave that as a paragraph option. That's what paragraph type of question, that's what Google Forms did. And those are just some examples of the types of questions that you can create. Google Forms will also allow you to insert an image. If you look at the bottom of the screen in the center, we can add an image inside a form. We can also add a YouTube video inside a form. It doesn't have to be a YouTube video, it could be your own video if you had some through Google Drive, for example. And Google Forms also allows you to insert a divider in new sections, and that's the button on the right. So what that will do is, as a student's completing a form, if you add a new section, they will have to click a button at the bottom of the screen in order to bring the next section up. Other settings for forms that you can use: if you click on the palette at the top near the right hand corner, you can customize the theme. If you wanted a custom color, if you wanted a custom header, some sort of image you wanted at the top, you can change the background color, and you can change the font style. These are some new features that were not previously available with Google Forms. So we have basic, decorative, formal, and playful. So I'm just going to change a few of my options here, click apply, and it'll give it a different look. The next thing that you can do is set all of your settings for your Google form. So if I click on the More menu, which is the three dots in the upper right corner, and I choose the Settings command, this can be a very important thing. Make sure you do not overlook. I've made this mistake before with my students. One thing that I always set my form to do is to collect email addresses. If you do not collect email addresses, you will end up with form input with no attachment to a student. So unless you're doing some sort of anonymous survey, you would want to make sure you include that. I also like to choose this option, require sign-in, to restrict to users within my organization. What that will do is, instead of a student having to type in their school email address into the form, it will automatically collect it and fill it in for them. A couple of options at the bottom. Respondents can edit after they submit. I typically do not allow that. And they can see summary charts and text responses. So I typically leave those alone. The next one, this is under the General tab. The next tab is the Presentation tab. When I click on that, I have the option to shuffle question order, which I often like to do. I can show the progress bar. This would be if you had a form with multiple sections. The student would know how far along they've gotten within the form. And then the default right here is to show a link to submit another response. If I'm doing an assessment, I typically uncheck that box. And then you can put in a custom confirmation message if you'd like to. If not, the default is just the text that reads, "Your response has been recorded."